Let me tell you a story. Now, the story is about Julia, Tom, Sarah, and Alan. Julia is the boss. She runs a busy team. Alan is the intern that she has hired for both Tom and Sarah to help them with their busy jobs. Now, it's the same intern that she has hired for both. Same first day, same access to everything, the shared drive, email system, project files, all of it. Alan's full name is Alan Iverson. Keep that in mind. I'll come back to that later. All right, so here's what happens. Julia introduces Alan to Tom first. Tom's approach is the following. He's a busy guy. He walks over to Alan and hands Alan a sticky note that says, "Hey, write me a report," and walks away. So Alan is looking at this note, doesn't know exactly what to do, and he produces something generic because he doesn't know exactly what Tom wants. Presents it to Tom. Tom sighs and says, "Well, try again, Alan. This time make it better." So Alan creates it again, still not great. After 4 attempts of going back and forth, Tom just throws up his hands and says, "This kid is useless. I'm done. I don't want to work with him anymore." Yeah. So now Alan has just got his hands folded. He's just sitting on the sides, not doing anything, staring at the wall. On the other hand, at the same exact time, Julia has also introduced Alan to Sarah. Sarah does something very different. She sits down with Alan for 20 minutes a day. On day one, she shows him exactly the 3 examples of past reports that Sarah herself has written and why she likes them, what she likes about them, and how she wants her reports going forward. So she does all that stuff, gives Alan practice. Alan makes mistakes, but she corrects Alan without blaming him. She treats the whole thing like a training and it's not a test. Now, basically what Sarah's doing is giving Alan a lot of training, a lot of practice to get better practice. By week 2, what's happening is Alan is doing things independently. And by week 4, Sarah says, "Well, now I'm getting 6 hours of time back. Alan is doing amazing stuff. I'm saving 6 hours a week." This is the exact same intern, same budget, completely different results. On one hand, Tom's conclusion was Alan is useless. On the other hand, Sarah's conclusion is Alan saves me 6 hours a week. Now, I'm sure you figured this out by now, but if you didn't, Alan Iverson, aka artificial intelligence, is what we're talking about here. And the main difference between Tom's experience and Sarah's experience with Alan, the same Alan, same intern, is just one word. It's practice. Alan got a chance to practice with Sarah and now with Tom. Now, hopefully those of you who know Alan Iverson from back in the day catch my drift here with Alan and practice. So moving forward here, it was really never about the technology, was it? Tom had the shortcut mentality. He just wanted stuff done without giving that much practice, without giving that much context. So vague prompts, vague context, no patience. He expected Alan, or AI in this case, to just read his mind and deliver perfection on the first try. That's not going to happen. And when that didn't happen, he did not reflect on this approach. He just blamed Alan. He just blamed AI. This is exactly what, you hear, and I hear many smart people, many capable people say that I tried AI and it did not do what I needed to do. Now, these people are not wrong about their experience, but they're just misdiagnosing the actual cause of their experience. Well, you see, Sarah, on the other hand, she had the team member mentality. She gave Alan what he needed to succeed. She gave background, she gave context, examples, clear expectations. Sarah was never looking for magic. She was building a working relationship with Alan, with AI, as a true team member. When something came back wrong, Sarah, she didn't quit. She coached. And over time, the consistency improves, it compounds, and eventually Sarah is saving 6 hours a week, every single week. So here's, unfortunately, an uncomfortable truth that both of these types of people, Tom and Sarah, are in your organization right now. Some of your people are like Tom, some are like Sarah. And the difference between them has nothing to do with tools you have licensed or how much you've spent on implementation. The companies that I see that are winning in the AI and they're getting very, very good, they're not just using better technology. That's not what it is. They're managing the adoption of the technology very differently. They're being very intentional. They're being very patient. They're being collaborative. They figured out that AI is not an IT problem or a budget problem for that matter. It's truly a management problem. It's a human problem. The good news is that it's a solvable problem. Okay, so next over here, let's talk about what most organizations are currently doing. What's going on that's correct and what's going on that could be better. So first, what's happening is there's a lot of awareness sessions or trainings that are happening, which is kind of like AI 101. You got lunch and learns, you got introduction workshops to AI, and people, nod in these trainings or these conferences and stuff like that and say, yeah, this is great. And so the awareness sessions are working perfectly fine. People are getting aware of what it is, what it can potentially do. Second thing on the other side is advanced training for developers, for power users who are building some pretty impressive things with things like Cloud Code or soon Copilot code or things like that. That's also great. But there's a layer in between that unfortunately most organizations are skipping. And that is the main layer where ROI actually lives. I call that layer activation. Extremely important. This is not about understanding AI conceptually. It's about not building it with technical props and things like that. It's a truly where, let's say, a mid-level manager integrating AI into how she runs her Monday morning routine all the time, Monday, Tuesday, etc. It's about a sales representative who's using it to prepare for his calls. It's about these specific, unglamorous, repetitive work that makes up 80% of your team's day. So going back to Tom, Julia, the boss, she didn't really fail Tom at the awareness level because Tom knew what Alan was. He knew what AI was. He was using ChatGPT himself since November 2022. So he avid user, but Julia failed him in this case at the activation layer because Tom didn't know what to do. And nobody walked Tom through how to use Alan inside his actual workflows, on his actual tasks, with his actual constraints. So when it got hard, Tom had no foundation to stand on and he quit. Sarah, on the other hand, she got what's called accidental activation. She figured it out herself. Challenges, but most of the Toms in your companies, unfortunately, will never figure it out by themselves and they will always complain and they will give up. The companies that are getting good returns on AI, they're happy with AI, are not necessarily better operators. They're closing the activation gap very, very deliberately with hands-on workflow integration. They're providing activation workshops for their department leaders. They're providing power users the same kind of activation, saying, here's exactly what you do to take your existing workflow and activating them with specific parts of this workflow with AI. Not everything, specific parts of it. So the support, the training, the activation in departments that are happening with department leaders and power users, that's then trickling down to the department, to the other people in the department. So let's not skip the middle activation layer because that's where the transformation is actually happening. Shift over here is to understand that awareness changes what people know. True. But activation changes what people do. Extremely important. Again, awareness changes what people know. Activation changes what people do. Very important to get your users activated, and that's usually done with a Copilot activation workshop. If you need my help, I run these types of workshops. I also train Copilot champions within companies how to run their own workshops. Let me know if I can help. Hope this was helpful.